Free handouts create disrespect. And let me explain a little bit about this. You have found that the more that you've done for your kids and the more that you've given to your kids, the less you were appreciated. In fact, how many times have you said to yourself or to others, my kid doesn't appreciate anything I do for him? And you know what? You're absolutely right. He doesn't appreciate what you do for him. He's only going to appreciate what he or she does for himself or herself. The reason being is because kids are only going to value that which they have an investment in. Okay? Now, let's use the example of a couple, a very young couple. Let's say it's your daughter, 17 years old, her name's Michelle. And she's going with a young man by the name of Edward, and he's 18 years old. And Michelle desperately wants Edward to marry her someday, to be the father of her kids. And so out of a loving, caring, well-intentioned heart, she gives Edward sex for free, a free handout with no commitment from Edward. Now, is Edward going to respect Michelle? No, he's not. He may or may not love her. He may or may not marry her. He may or may not be around to take care of the kids should she get pregnant. Here's another example. Let's say that your son turns 16. He's got his driver's license now. You, being the good, giving, loving parent that you are, you decide, I'm going to give my kid his first car. And so you give a kid his car. He has it torn up in 3 months. If he has to pay for his own car or pay for half of it, he washes and waxes the thing every weekend and shows it off to his friends. Why? Because kids only value that which they have an investment in. Now, I know that you have worked very hard to get where you're at, and you take pride in the fact that you have a comfortable house and that you've been able to provide for your kids, and I commend you for that. But keep in mind that we have to temper this prosperity for those of us who have been on the receiving end of prosperity. The reason we have to temper this is because when we give our kids stuff and freedom, they don't have to earn it, therefore it's not valued because there's no investment involved. And not only do they not value their free handouts, they don't value the source of their handouts, which would be you. You were the one that provided the stuff and the freedom. And when stuff and freedom is unearned, it's not valued, and neither is the source, and this is why handouts create disrespect. So then the question becomes, well, if free handouts create disrespect and dependency and a sense of entitlement and resentment and all these other things, what are we supposed to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to replace dependency with self-reliance. And how we do that is no more free handouts. The kids are going to earn their stuff and their freedom now, and we're going to talk about that next.